Okay, so I wanted to dissect this different ways. One in particular, um, saying that I have only a few black girlfriends. That has nothing to do with my skin tone. Actually, to be completely honest with you on this, my skin tone saves me from being beaten up by black women who think that all black women have to talk, act, look, sound, breathe a certain way, basically. Um, I know this because my mother is dark skinned and she's exactly the same way I am, if not more, actually. Much more, honestly. And a lot of the time, people really don't like her. They just don't like her, And she had many times where black women wanted to beat her up, basically. And this isn't just black women, but women who fit into a certain class, also that are of a different race, can sometimes have that issue too. That can happen too, but that was not what I was talking about here. My point was most of the time black women who think that black women all have to act a certain way, um, they are much harder on darker skinned women. Women who are of a bit lighter hue. I'm not light skinned. I'm more like brown, light brown skinned, I guess you could say. Lighter than a paper bag, but not yellow complected. um, People like me, many of the time they'll assume that I'm mixed or that I'm from Africa or something. I'm not black American, basically, and so they will give me a pass for acting anyway differently than them because they think I'm from a different culture. So actually on the basis of skin tone, actually I think it's actually benefited me. Now the problem I found is this: black men preferring women who are lighter complected, and I don't have the same preference back. And if I don't have that preference back, that's a problem because black men control black women, especially mammies. And I talked about that in my last video. And because of that, then they will basically turn black women against me and try to have them do their dirty work. So I've seen that happen before, but no, not specifically on skin tone or phenotype. Black women can get really hard on black women who are dark skinned for basically what they think is an Oreo. It's not really an Oreo, it's just a black woman who's being herself, basically. And they are being basically phony because they basically think that they have to put on a costume and basically be a certain type of black person who fits all these stereotypes. So, yeah, that's got nothing to do with skin tone. I have a black mother who's dark skinned, and yeah, I've never been any different because my mother is dark skinned. It's not like my mother is supposed to have a different mentality or talk a different way or have a different type of behavior just because she's dark skinned. People who have that assumption often have a situation where they get confused with dark skinned black women like her, and they have an issue with dark skinned black women acting like her. So, you know, that part I just wanted to cover because, like, my skin tone has nothing to do with how I was raised. I was raised around mainly dark skinned people. My lighter complected parent died before I was born. So, I really literally was not raised with any of his input. And I do have an aunt that's my color, a light brown complexion. And I have an uncle that is light skinned, but I really wasn't around him. So, yeah, I was raised around dark skinned black people. And I don't think light skinned or dark skinned black people act differently from each other or sound differently from each other either. So, going back to the whole thing on EU, Exoticals United. I did not come to Exotical United's channel. This is why I put up a lifestyle with Danielle's comment, because it was around the same time I received comments from Exoticals United. See, the difference with me and a lifestyle with Danielle is because we spoke on colorism, and in many ways I actually agree with a lifestyle with Danielle. I mean, not in some ways probably. I mean, like, I don't believe in colorism. Not really sure how much she believes in colorism, but from what I've seen, I do agree with her perspective on colorism when she shared her experience. Hers and Pop by Cherry, very good videos, honestly. I love those videos on colorism from them. Even if they do believe in colorism, for dark skinned black women, that's just a different opinion regarding dark skinned black women, but their own personal perspective, I really did appreciate. The thing was, I guess, for me, with Exoticals United, she saw my videos on Chrissy, and that's a major reason why she came to my channel, and she did not leave a comment like this on my channel. And so because of that, I was not aware that she didn't like women with my phenotype, because a lifestyle with Danielle and I have phenotypes that are very similar. I mean, the only difference is a lifestyle with Danielle's eyes are lighter. um I say her hair type is pretty similar to mine, I would say. I think her hair is like a 4A ish, I think. But yeah, we have similar phenotypes, skin tone wise. Even some facial features you can kind of see are kind of racially similar there. Kind of like Cynthia G. Kind of like, we all kind of are like, that brown skinned black girl who isn't dark skinned in the least, and may not have all the features that are associated with very ethnic African features. We still have ethnic features, but not extremely ethnic, I guess you could say. But anyway, um, so I think the difference was that I specifically make a lot of content against Chrissy, basically, especially during that time. So she liked the videos I was making on Chrissy, basically. That was basically it, because I do not agree with Chrissy on colorism. I don't believe in colorism. And so, I do go after Chrissy very often. My top video right now, it might not be Cynthia G video on Latinos is going up, honestly. But right now my second highest video is a video on Chrissy, Divested Zealot versus Chrissy. So anyway, I generally have made quite a few videos against Chrissy, basically, and she appreciated that. I went to her channel for maybe a couple months, maybe, I guess, a few months, before I found out about this comment here, where she had issues with people who are brown skinned. And in this comment here, she is specifically talking to a lifestyle with Danielle. So that's how I knew that, oh, she's just trying to use brown skinned girls like me, to get where she needs to get. And I think she may have been confused by the lighting, because she saw a video of mine and she thought, I think, that I was lighter than what I was, because she thought I was like her color at one point. She even told me she thought I was like her color. And she's not my color. She's like a 310 in Fenty. And it was winter, I think, the video she was referencing that she saw me in. And in that video, I was like a 370, because I've not been 310 in Fenty since I was 3 years old, and I don't have any videos of myself when I was 3 years old. So I think it was just the lighting that confused her, maybe, because some some lighting makes me look a little bit more brighter than what I actually am, you know? But anyway, so I'm not her color. I think she was just a little confused. And so maybe that's why she didn't react as negatively to me as she did to a lifestyle with Danielle. It's funny, just lighting can make people think such different things about you, you know. And, and that's when I stopped watching her channel. I stopped really commenting on her channel. I blocked her originally, and then I unblocked her, and then I blocked her again. And then when I blocked her the second time, she stayed on block after that because I was just like, I didn't like her on my channel because I'm like, you're an individual who hates brown skinned black women. You hate women like me. Basically, you just basically don't act so aggressive towards me, but that's how you really feel. You want to call me two-faced. You want to call dark-skinned black women like my mother darkies and lowlives. And it's like, how I was raised anyway about Hispanic people. It's like, you of all people, Hispanic, half Hispanic yourself, you want to call anybody a lowlife? Like, come on now. You guys stay on welfare in your country, outside of your country. You guys are a waste. Your country is crime filled. I mean, come on now, sweetie. Come on now. But that's just my perspective. It's just like when I see someone who is racist towards someone like my mother and trying to call me two-faced, and then at the same time be part Hispanic, that's just really rich to me. Because it's like, that's, I'm the one trying to be nice here. How I was raised to see Hispanic people, we weren't taught that they were smart. We weren't taught that they were well off. We weren't taught that they were successful in life. We weren't even taught that they could come over here legally and be, basically of a higher class, But I took all that and basically tried to push that out of what I believe of Hispanic people. But then you have Hispanic people like that trying to call black women who are dark skinned darkies. And it's like, from my perspective, it's just like, you have, you, you of all people are gonna act like that? Like, seriously? So, yeah, from my perspective, I'm just not one of those people who is associated with her channel. When I found out her perspective on dark skinned black women, on her perspective of brown skinned women, and so forth, like I said, I don't like people who are two-faced. And to me, in her situation, she was definitely two-faced with me. So that's all I have to say in this video. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe and comment down below. Bye, guys.